The home and family my parents built and raised encompass the best reasons I have for the love of my home, and my mother's attraction to this gracious space directly affected my development into the person I am today. My mother, living in Houston during her sophomore year of high school, returned to Elsa after the passing of her father in 1972. She greatly enjoyed her high school years at EdCouch Elsa, where she would spend time with her family, and was thrilled to see her Mexican-American cousin Dora Torres win Homecoming Queen at EdCouch Elsa thanks to the progress of the walkout of 1968, a boycott raised against the daily racism, segregation, social and educational inequities occurring at EEHS, as mentioned in Remembering, Reframing, and Reimagining Latino Leadership in Education by Guajardo, Salinas, and Cardosa. My mother remarked how a Latina homecoming queen would have never won in her Houston high school, run predominantly by Anglos. Although she would return to Houston after marrying my father, she was determined to give her growing family the best chance at a fair and quality education for a successful future in Elsa, of course, our home. A common theme I share with others' stories is that our parents exercised courage and imagination when they uprooted their families and moved far distances in search of a better life, as mentioned in The Political Imagination by Guajardo, Oliver, and Valadez. This investment in my childhood would help me graduate 7th in my class and earn an economics degree from Brown University. I struggled my first year at college and found work with an EdCouch Elsa summer program at home. Once here, I reconnected with my junior high school counselor, Miss Borrego, and was told sometimes plants have to be repotted. Those wise words continue to remind me to water the roots that have nourished my growth as a good person, educator, and promising leader every day. I learned from Robert Ornstein, a person with a quiet type of personality such as I consider myself is high gain, and he describes a paradox where those with high gain are not the people racing around the world. I take this as a critique of myself, as staying quiet can be detrimental to my search to be a successful leader one day. I am able to visualize this in the construction of the self-description portion of my LSA profile. I introspectively view my personality as passive-defensive and oppositional. However, with this understanding of my biological nature, I am actively aware to be in constant deliberation with my inner thoughts. I intentionally act in a humanistic, encouraging manner for the greater good, and gladly see my LSI description by others is reflected more favorably as it leans into the productive, constructive style. I am a Mexican American, and I love being Mexican American. However, my story is that of a fourth-generation American by way of my great-grandfather Marcelino Gonzalez, having been born in South Texas in the year 1900. As a Mexican American, I can relate to Dr. Francisco Guajardo telling the story of his mother, like my mother, because she did things for the right reasons, because it was the right thing to do by her children, as he said in the Political Imagination review of a community learning exchange. My father finished school in the 6th grade and continued in La Universidad de la Vida, as phrased by Dr. Guajardo's father too. My father's lessons spiritualized my world and conceptualized the differences between beautiful and ugly as defined by Freire. My father opted to act for the good of our family directly in the face of evil. Once, as he stood outside late at night, he shouted, "Dime lo que buscas y yo te lo agarro," to a passerby looking in, a threat to our home security, a foreshadowing of the evils that would later strike our home when robbed and many of my mother's mementos of my late father stripped away. My father's words are significant because, knowing him like I did, he might have actually gave something away. For me, I learned this, that material items are not that important. People and family are. I take these lessons as my politic in life, a humanitarian approach to life, education, and leadership, doing good for people for the sake of doing good for people.